Hey, welcome to EPN. My name is Victor Lucas, and we bring you the latest in everything cool every single day. These days from my basement, because we are all at home these days, are we not? We want to dedicate this rundown to all of the garbage people out there that are collecting all of our trash and making sure that our streets and our alleys are all nice and tidy and neat. And we appreciate it. It's definitely an essential service, and we hope that all of you are staying safe and all of your families are safe as well. Let's get started with your rundown. Following the success of The Mandalorian, another new TV show is coming to the Star Wars universe. Disney and Lucasfilm are reportedly developing a new live-action series that will explore a different corner of the Star Wars galaxy. No official details are known, but Variety reports that the show is being developed by Russian Doll co-creator Leslie Headland and will have a female lead and take place in a different era than the existing shows and movies. It will also apparently be an action thriller with a strong focus on martial arts elements, but that's all we know for now. Given Leslie Headland's history with shows like Russian Doll, don't be surprised if there's some dark comedy elements.
Jesus fucking Christ, that's dark.
This is just one of several new Star Wars projects in the works for the small screen. Disney is looking to use the franchise to help shore up the burgeoning Disney Plus, even as the Star Wars films are taking a break.
I like those odds.
Don't expect to see this new series for a while. In the meantime, the second season of The Mandalorian is scheduled to premiere this fall. Man, I think this news is exciting. I loved Russian Doll. If you haven't seen that show yet, you definitely have to. It's incredible. I freaking loved it. It's a mind bender, but very intelligently crafted and lots of cool twists and turns, some action in it as well. So I'm excited to see what Leslie Headland does with Star Wars. New voices in Star Wars are always welcome, and cool creators with a great kind of sense of taste and style. I like that very much.
Thank you.
I'm such a huge fan of what Disney Plus has been doing with The Mandalorian that I'm excited for more series based in this incredible universe. We may find out at the end of all of this, when we get the Obi-Wan show, when we get the Cassian Andor show, that TV, in the sort of episodic form like this, might be a better fit for Star Wars. Because Star Wars, when you see it in the theaters, it's like an arms race. Every film has to escalate and be bigger and bigger and have more stuff than the last one. And it can be a little bit exhausting. It's incredible visual stimulation, but trying to find the heart of the story has been difficult for almost every filmmaker that has gone into that space, no pun intended, in movie form. And that includes George Lucas. Another big science fiction TV show has another season rolling off the assembly line. HBO has renewed Westworld for a fourth season. They haven't said how many episodes we'll get or when it will arrive, but don't hold your breath because there's been a 2-year wait between the seasons so far. The third season is just about finished, and although there's been a drop in viewership this year, Westworld is still one of HBO's marquee titles, taking over from their last big series, Game of Thrones. HBO also needs more genre entertainment like this because they're about to launch the new streaming platform HBO Max, and sci-fi shows like Westworld tend to do better on those platforms than on conventional television. The show's creative team reportedly have deals in place that will keep Westworld running until at least season 6, if the network has a desire to keep it that long.
Oh, they better have.
I haven't seen season 3 yet. It's been a little bit tricky, I have to be honest, for me to concentrate on TV shows and movies. I've definitely been spending a lot more time escaping into video games, and then a platform like the TurboGrafx 16 Mini comes out with 60 games on it, which takes up a lot of my time, a lot of game time. But I've found it easier to sort of lose myself in that escapism than in scripted shows. Although I did enjoy Ozark Season 3, I definitely want to dive back into Westworld. I really enjoyed the series before, and, hats off to the creators and all the people running the show. I know they've taken some pretty crazy twists and turns with Season 3 of Westworld. I can't wait to find out what those are. Once I've watched the season, I'll get back to you guys with some thoughts on all of that. It's definitely important for these streaming services to have, fantastic escapism. It's going to be very interesting to see how dystopian escapism is leaning in the near future. I think a lot of people will be welcoming tales of better days and sort of a brighter and sunnier outlook in a lot of content out there. I'll be fascinated to see if all of these different streaming platforms are greenlighting shows that are maybe a little bit less dark, because we've had a real predilection for that kind of stuff. There's been a lot of dark shows with full-on anti-heroes or despicable people as our leads, and I don't know if the world wants a lot more of that right now. We'll see. It's going to get interesting. But yeah, I can't wait to get caught up on Westworld Season 3 and to get back to you guys with some thoughts.
Are you ready? We have work to do.
Valve has started making new games again, but some of their older games are giving them some problems. The source code for two Valve games, CounterStrike Global Offensive and Team Fortress 2, has leaked online, potentially giving hackers new ways to infiltrate and exploit them. Valve says there's no reason to be alarmed, though. They claim that the leaked code is actually from a 2017-2018 build of the source engine, and because the code has been updated several times since then, anyone using the current versions of the game should be fine. Still, they promise to continue investigating the matter and are asking players to let them know if they have any information about the leak itself. Looking ahead, Valve is using the newer Source 2 engine for their more recent games like Half-Life Alyx, so hopefully it doesn't leak online anytime soon. It's really distressing to read news like that. All of these hackers and all of this code getting, stolen, and people finding all kinds of weaknesses in old databases and old data to try to exploit people and steal from them. So terrible, and it really sucks that it's happening in such a big way right now while we're all stuck inside and using digital connections to stay connected to the outside world. You know, I hope that justice is served and the people that do things like that are all captured. Another big online game is handling cheaters in a unique way. Call of Duty Warzone has begun isolating cheaters together in the same matches. In the latest update, Infinity Ward has tweaked the matchmaking so it will now automatically match suspected cheaters together in the same lobbies, keeping them separate from the honest non-cheater players. Other games have experimented with similar measures in the past, and this seems like an interesting way to combat cheating without actually banning the suspected cheaters from the game altogether. Like most online games, cheating has been a problem for Warzone since it launched last month, and Infinity Ward says they're always working on new anti-cheating measures. Yeah, see, here's another thing where people are exploiting the fact that we're all connected digitally. And I can't stand cheaters in video games. Like, what is the fun in that? You know, to exploit the system and to wreak havoc on other people that are playing fairly? It's just totally disgusting. How is that a win? Other than you're on the other end of it snickering that people don't know you're cheating. It's so freaking pathetic. You cheaters have got to find a life and do something more productive. Give to the world. Don't just try to find different ways to exploit it and rip off from the world. It's disgusting behavior. After more than 15 years, World of Warcraft is getting something that some players have wanted since it launched. Blizzard has announced the latest expansion, Shadowlands, will bring controller support to the game for the first time. Players will be able to bind different keys to the buttons of their choice and use a wider range of third-party options, including the Xbox One controller. Until now, the only way to use controllers was through unofficial mods, so the official version will make things a lot easier. In a post on the game's official forums, community manager Randy Jordan says they've been thinking about doing this for a while, and are doing it now because the whole idea with Shadowlands is to make the game more accessible. The expansion lands later this year. I'm wondering if now World of Warcraft is going to end up being a console game. I mean, that seems like the natural progression for something like this, which is crazy. I think when I reviewed World of Warcraft ages ago, I probably was, geez, it'd be fun to play this with a controller because you're, running around as a third-person avatar. So I wonder if that's going to really change up the way that people interact with the game and if it feels like a little bit more like an action-adventure title. That's pretty cool. That's pretty sweet. And you know what? I would not be surprised if World of Warcraft does filter over to the Xbox Series X and to the PlayStation 5. I mean, there's already so many free-to-play MMOs and massive games that you can play with a controller on those machines and interact with other people that are playing on the PC. Very interesting. And what a juggernaut World of Warcraft is, it feels like we probably have talked about it in almost every month since it launched, and that's crazy. It's vying for the award of running for as many seasons as the Electric Playground has. All right, you guys, that's going to do it for our rundown today. Thank you so much for watching, except for all of you cheaters and thieves out there. I don't care if you watch. We're going to be back again tomorrow with a brand new rundown for you. But in the meantime, we've got lots of content for you to dive into. And if you dig our stuff, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. If you like this video, hit that thumbs up. Thanks for sharing. We'll see you tomorrow. And until then, play forever.